Good God morning to you. I'm Scarlet Ponder coming to you from beautiful Bellingham, Washington. You may have seen me before with Pastor Anthony Westbrook. Well, Anthony is not here this morning, but I thought I'd bring you a message here from my own home. You may think I look a little different this morning. I almost hope you don't recognize me because my hair's not really done. I don't have my contacts in, and this is pretty much what I look like when I get up in the morning. But the point is, when we greet God in the morning, God wants us to greet Him just as we are, before our hair's combed, before our contacts are in, before our makeup's on, before we're dressed all pretty. He wants us to greet Him. And so we're talking right now about when we greet God in the morning, giving Him the first of our day. There are 4 ways that we can do that: through praise, through prayer, through reading His Word, and through worship. So, I wanted to kind of go in and start to look at those 4 pillars: prayer, praise, word, worship. We're going to start today with praise. The word praise is a word that we don't necessarily understand very well in our culture. We may have a different idea of it than how it was used in the Bible. And so what I did is I started going in the Bible and looking at the first instance where praise was used. If you have a Bible concordance, you can use that. Now with the internet, you can look it up online even. Just type in, praise in the Bible and see what comes up. And I found the first story is the story of Leah. Now what's interesting is Leah is a woman who was not loved by her husband. She was thought to be ugly. If you go to Genesis chapter 29, it talks about how Jacob asked for Rachel to be his bride in exchange for working 7 years. It says, so Jacob, in verse 20, it says he worked 7 years to pay for Rachel, but his love was so strong it seemed to him a few days. But what happened is when it came time for him to marry Rachel, Laban gave him her sister Leah instead. So you can imagine his shock when it says in verse 25, when Jacob woke up in the morning, "It was Leah. What have you done to me?" Jacob raged at Laban. "I worked 7 years for Rachel. Why have you tricked me?" And so he was angry that he didn't get to marry the woman that he loved. And Laban ended up giving him Rachel as a bride too. But it says Jacob slept with Rachel too, and he loved her much more than Leah. So you can imagine the pain as a woman being married to a man who doesn't love you. And what's interesting is God chooses that woman to give birth to the child, whom his name, Judah, is a word meaning praise. And from this child, Judah, would come Jesus Christ, the one who would come to reunite us with God, to crush the devil, and to reign forever. So that in itself is incredible. But we're running out of time here, so this will be continued on the next Good God Morning. Bye.